because it's okay. Welcome everybody. I'm so excited. So I will tell you right away, you might want to put your view on gallery view. So that way you can see, I have my phone camera set up in front of the pan. And then of course this camera set up here. So you can actually see both. And once we get everything into the pan, if you want to start, pin the pan video, then you can do that too. But I wanted everybody to see what I was doing. But thank you guys so much. So I appreciate you guys being my guinea pigs, because this is the first time that we've done a cooking class. I've actually participated in one before, but this is the first time I'm doing it, which I'm really nervous for some reason. I don't know why, because I literally cook every night and I love cooking, but it's just, it's kind of fun, but also scary because like now people are watching me and like judging me. No, you're not. I know you're not. But I'm really excited to provide this to our wine club members. Our wine club members are really our favorite people. They are our best customers. They are our friends. They are our wine buddies, our wine drinking buddies. And, I just really wanted to provide some extra value and some extra fun for people right now. I mean, I'm excited that it's spring and that things are, looking up, but it's still nice to have that ability to, connect with some people. So let's get started. We are going to make veggie bibimbap. I swore to myself I was not going to say it wrong. And I even looked it up and investigated the history, but it's bibimbap. If you actually look at our wine shop card, it's spelled wrong on there. There's a spelling error. So that's what made it confusing for me initially when I started researching it. I, of course, let them know that they had a spelling error on there, but I just wanted you all to know that. But it's bibimbap or bibimbap. It depends on, where you're hearing it. And I think it depends on which parts of Korea, but it's a Korean dish. And it actually came about in rural Korea. Farmers, I think it's the Lunar New Year, they would traditionally get, clean out their stock of all the veggies and most of the time nowadays, if you order it at restaurants and things, you're going to get it with beef. Jacqueline, I know, is making hers with beef. And then I try to tell everybody, make it your own. You can leave the egg off and make it completely vegetarian and mix it up. And that's why I really like this recipe, because it's easy. And I'll be honest with you, when I first looked at it, I was like, the sauce looks like a stir fry sauce. It doesn't look that exciting. But when I made it, it didn't taste like stir fry at all, which I don't know why, but it was delicious. I don't know if it's because I doctored it just a hair, and I'm going to show you how I did that, but it was delicious. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is get your rice going. I'm actually using jasmine rice, which I think is a great option for this because it's a really spicy. It can be a really spicy dish if you make it spicy. So I think it's nice to have like that sweeter jasmine rice. Also, I just like jasmine rice. So I got my 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm not like a professional chef, but I have, found my way around the kitchen pretty easily. I do take a book or a page out of Rachel Ray's book with my garbage bowl. So if you've never done that when you're cutting veggies and things like that, if you put yourself a garbage bowl right here, you don't have to constantly go back to the trash can. So I'm just going to put my rice in there. You can't see me right now, but I just basically put rice in my pot. And my 2 cups of water, and we're going to get that going. And my oven's not working. No, it is. No, but seriously, why isn't it working? There we go. Oh, that was weird. Okay. So rice is ready to go. The second thing that we're going to do is work on cooking the eggs, because the eggs go on top. I mean, I guess you could do it at the end, but if you do it this way, then you don't have to use two different pans. You just cook them first and then set them aside. So I'm actually going to put
I was surprised about that, Kelly, on the recipe, because usually I do the eggs at the end. Like I do all my vegetables in my pan, and then they can kind of sit. And I thought this was interesting that it was written to do the egg first and have the egg sit.
Oh, that is interesting. I only made it the one.
Especially if you were a runny egg person, like I don't want the egg to have time to continue to cook too long.
Oh, so let me put my camera back on me for that, because I did some research about that, because that did happen to me too. I'm using this, I have this like Circulon pan where it has the little rings, and there was like a little bit of residual egg in there. And I did kind of just scrape it up and just left it in there. But many traditional bibimbap dishes are actually made in a hot bowl. And what they do is actually put the eggs in first, and that's how they get cooked. They don't get super duper cooked, which is why they get the runny, and that's where the sauce comes from. But traditionally in some of the restaurants, you'll actually get the eggs cooked in the hot bowl first, and then everything else goes on top, and it gets, you know, all yummied up there. So I thought, oh, if there's a little residual egg in there, it's more traditional, Maria. That's how it works. That's how you make it. That's how you make it work. But also one of the other things that I learned was that the name actually means mixed rice. So I'm actually putting, just so y'all can see, I'm putting my eggs in a bowl, because when I made this the first time, one of the sharp edges of the eggs broke my yolk, and I was really annoyed about that. So I wanted to do it more gently this time so that I wouldn't have any broken yolks. I mean, it still can happen when you put them in the pan, but anyway, mixed rice, because again, more traditionally, the rice would be half burned on the bottom, because again, that hot bowl, and then obviously just regular cooked rice on top. And just looking at my rice.
But you're also just supposed to mix everything up when you eat it. If you ever have it in a Korean restaurant, they totally expect you to stir it all up and make a big mess out of it.
Dish for sure. It's an interactive.
It comes out pretty and it's all separated and looks, you know, very artistic, but then you're expected to brutalize it.
Yes, I read that that's intentional, because it is supposed to be artistic and pretty, and also you are supposed to be interactive. I actually put salt and pepper on my eggs because I just do that. It doesn't say to do that, but I do that. And not a lot. I mean, there's obviously a lot of salt in the soy, but I do like to do that. So I'm going to turn the pan on. I'm actually going to just spray my pan for the eggs, and I'll use the oil when I do the veggies, but I'm just going to spray it a little bit. But yeah, I actually really liked the idea of using one pan, I'll be honest. So the whole egg thing. Let me pour myself a little bit more wine. So the cool thing about these pairings is, you know, that they're designed to go together, but you have to be careful that you don't drink the wine before you actually finish cooking the food. That is a no bueno, because, you know, that's the whole point. And it is Open That Bottle Night. So if you haven't heard of Open That Bottle Night, for those of you who are watching the replay, it is really a holiday made up by the wine industry. And the wine industry decided that people were saving too many good bottles of wine, and they didn't want them to do that. They wanted them to drink them so that they could buy more. And so they said, let's have a holiday where you actually drink the wine. And let me get something for my eggs when I get them done. And so that is where Open That Bottle Night came from, so that people would actually drink their wine and then buy more. And I think it's great though, because a lot of people do that. I mean, we always talked about that at our tastings, where people will buy a special bottle, they'll save it, especially with our company specifically, they'll save this bottle of wine for some random occasion, if they even remember to drink it. And then when they open it, they love it so much, they call us, they want more, and it's sold out. So don't hold on to the wine. Probably should have heated my pan first, but my rice is going super well. So I'm gonna try that out. My eggs were kind of cold, so this is taking a minute. One of the tips and tricks that you can use to have a really nice sunny side up eggs is when they start cooking, I'll try to move them around a little bit. I'll show you here, but then you put a nice big top over your pan so that the steam gets trapped, and then you the steam basically cooks the top of the eggs. So these are going. This is overflowing. All right. And the thing about these, I mean, you can cook your eggs however you like them, but you really want to like allow it to get not super duper cooked, because like Maria was saying, the whole fun of it is, you know, cooking it enough that it's safe, but also the eggs are really part of the sauce. So. I'm gonna have another sip while I'm waiting for these eggs. I'm surprised we didn't have more people pop on. I think people forgot. I probably should have sent the reminder this morning versus 2 days ago, or in addition to 2 days ago.
That's okay. They can catch the replay, and this is great. Like, this is a year-round dish, which is kind of fun, and you can add, you know, seafood, the steak, chicken. I mean, add a pork to it, anything you want.
Yeah.
Change it up. So
it really is super versatile.
Actually, not
like
you're doing chicken.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm doing a Korean chicken that I picked up at Sprouts. Because I don't eat rice and I don't eat dairy, so no egg. And then instead of rice, I'm doing the cauliflower rice. And then I'm going to put the chicken on top. So yeah. And I've never had this because I can never order it at a restaurant because I don't eat eggs. So.
Oh, that's a good, see, that's what is so great about like this dish. One of the reasons that I chose it, well, because it came with a wine that came this month in Wine Club, obviously. But it is very versatile. You literally can make it your own way, depending on your dietary, you know, preferences, restrictions, whatever.
That is what we love. Like, I just like making lots of vegetables. And like you said, Kelly, when you read about it, you realize each family had their own versions, you know, and their own veggie mix. And sometimes it changed based off season or what was in the house. And I kind of treat it the same way when I make it here. We just put what's out and you put what you like.
Exactly.
And if you're the only one that likes the mushrooms, then guess what? You get all the mushrooms or whatever, you know, how.
Absolutely. No,
Build your bowl as you want.
All right, so eggs go in there. Put those over here.
My coworker was telling me that in her Korean family, this is the equivalent of a casserole dish where you take all the leftovers out and you just kind of mishmash them all together.
Yes.
It's funny you say that. One of my Korean friends said the same exact thing. She said for her mom, it's like refrigerator night.
Yes.
We don't know what we're going to eat. All these containers start coming out and maybe some fresh veggies. And then next thing they know, here it is.
Yes, that's exactly what, even like when I was reading the articles about the history of it and everything, that's exactly what they would do is, I mean, I wouldn't say refrigerators because it originated so long ago that they didn't have refrigerators, but yeah, you cleaned out whatever you had in your stash and that's what, you know, that's what you use. So on that note, I'm going to just chop up some veggies here. The recipe calls for certain things, but again, you can make whichever ones you want. I did get some mushrooms. Last time I didn't make it with mushrooms. My son does not love mushrooms, so we're not going to do the full 4 cups of mushrooms. I'm actually going to sub some of them out for other things, but we do love the peppers, so we're going to do those, and the carrots, of course, and And I actually, this time, I'm going to add some zucchini. Last time I made it, I actually subbed the spinach because I didn't actually have any spinach. I subbed it for collard greens, and that was delicious. Now with the collards, I put them in, like the recipe calls for you to put the greens in at the end. The collards, you can't do that. You have to put them in with the peppers and the carrots because they are more sturdier green. But man, I really like collards anyway, so that's me. But you could probably use kale if you wanted to, or really, like you guys were saying, literally anything. So I've got some carrots that I'm gonna do. I've already just like peeled these and prepped them a little bit. I like carrots, honestly. If I could do like mostly carrots. Carrots and peppers, those are my two favorites, but that's again another reason why I like this dish. So I hope that Wine Shop gives us some really good dishes for next time, because this one was just like the easiest and the most versatile. And if they give me
This one's so colorful. I had yellow bell peppers, so I decided to do those because you got the carrots, the purple cabbage, the green, the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Eat the rainbow.
Exactly. It's so healthy. That's the thing. Like, it is really healthy.
I call that living off the land. Like when I'm like, all right, I haven't gone to the store. We're going to have like peas and pasta. It's like living off the land. They're like, why did you make this for dinner? Do you want to eat? Because this is what we have tonight.
Exactly. And I mean, everybody has rice all the time. Rice and eggs, usually you're going to have that at all times. So you can just pop whatever you have in there. Okay, so here's my little rainbow.
When you were talking meats, I also wanted to comment, like I know we were mentioning the chicken, beef, the sliced beef, sometimes like the bulgogi style beef, they do the marinated and grilled, but they also like to do a minced meat. And one time, because it's what I had on hand, and actually, as everyone knows, once you get done seasoning it, ground turkey can taste like anything. And these seasonings are so strong when you're dealing with ginger and garlic that a lot of times I do ground turkey. So, yeah, once you're done with the seasoning on that, you don't even know.
That is a great tip, honestly. I do a lot of
So cheap, obviously.
Yeah, and I don't mind eating, like we don't eat a ton of beef in our house. Like I'll make like a grass-fed something beef, every once in a while. Oh, the dog has decided that he had heard some chopping and he should run in. Not for you, Biggs. But we do use a lot of ground turkey in place of like manwich or stuff like that. Nachos even, because like you said, Maria, you can ground turkey turn into anything. Well, I said I wasn't doing I didn't think this would make 4 cups of sliced mushrooms, but it's kind of a lot. Sorry, Andrew. He's just gonna eat it, isn't he? Okay, so there's my mushrooms. I'm also gonna put in one of the things that I think is really important to mention about this dish, sweet sugar snap peas, is that you really have to get all your veggies and everything put together before you start cooking anything. Cook your eggs and then set aside, but you really want to make sure that everything's ready to go because it starts going quick. I'm even going to make the sauce or the liquids that will go in, because once you start kind of cooking those veggies, you don't want them to sit there too super long. I don't peel my zucchini, so you can think what you want about that, but I like the skin of the veggies. I think they're good and healthy, and I'm just going to cut these into like little strips.
I laughed when you were talking about the one pan because I do try to minimize the pans on the cooking part, but unfortunately all the veggie prep like you're just talking about right now, because I'm used to people not wanting to eat all the same veggies and I cook them separately, I end up with like 8 bowls for my veggie prep. Both, raw, and then they go back in the same bowl when they're cooked, but then only one pan on the stovetop.
You're such a good person. I would have been like, too bad. Pick it out.
I'm the same way. Like I like to minimize the amount of like dishware and everything. And I also am like systematically putting things in the dishwasher or rinsing it as I'm going. And like my boyfriend will just like create chaos when he's in the kitchen. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Why do you have 12 knives on the table? And what are you doing?
Yes. No, that is 100%. So the rule at our house, and my husband's not here right now, but the rule at our house is if you cook, you don't really clean up. Now, let's be honest. I'm always cooking, but I'm always still helping cleaning up, on some level, because I am cleaning as I'm going. But at the same time, when he cooks, it's 1,000 times more to clean up. We all know this. He likes to cook. It's just, I got it. I'll let you do a few things here and there, but it's not really about control. It's just really about the cleanup, because I hate the cleanup part. Okay, so I already prepped, just so you guys know, I already prepped and rinsed my spinach and my cabbage that's in here. And so what I'm going to do now, before we get started is, before we move to the pan, let me check my rice here. Ooh, looks like it's done. I'm going to turn this off.
I'm so excited because I've got my bowl ready. I don't know if I can show you guys.
Oh, yum.
Hold on.
Delicious.
Steak in there. Can you see my steak?
Yes, I can see it. It looks amazing.
Yay.
Really good. That does look.
So I can feed myself and then feed everybody else.
Yeah, she's got an event she's going to anyway. So I'm going to heat my oil up. But the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of soy. So just so not that you can't do this yourself, but I definitely like to get this, again, like I said, ready to go. And one of the things that I did for the last little test run is I actually added a little bit of rice wine vinegar as well, because I liked that I usually like a little bit of little kick of acidity. So I'm going to put that in there as well. And then of course, McCormick, we use all the recipes from them. There's only maybe less, half a tablespoon maybe left, which is perfect. I actually have sesame seeds and the pepper and the ground. I'm going to sprinkle that stuff over top, but I like to get the liquids ready to go. But McCormick's, of course, you don't have to use their spices. I don't even think we have a deal with them. We just use the recipes because they're good and, accessible. Okay, I've got my skillet going. I'm going to put the garlic in my Pampered Chef garlic press and get that ready to go. And I'm going to put the sturdy vegetables and get them in there. Ooh, that's a lot of veggies. And have a little bit overboard. All right.
Anyone tried coconut aminos instead of soy sauce? Like if you're trying to cut the sodium and all of that.
Yes, you can use coconut. Yeah, coconut aminos. I have those as well. I actually 3 tablespoons I didn't think was bad. So I also just season everything. It doesn't say this on the recipe, but I really think it does make a difference if you season your veggies a little bit. I don't put a ton of salt on, but I think it is important to do. I'm gonna turn this sucker up.
And the one thing I didn't see on here I wanted to ask you about was gochujang, the Korean pepper spice.
Yes.
I was surprised they didn't have that on the recipe, because that's usually what I mix in my soy sesame vinegar blend, and I use vinegar too. So I thought that was cool that you mentioned that.
Yes, I really like that acidity kick. One of the things that the traditional recipe does call for is that chili paste, that Korean chili paste. And, I think this being a McCormick's recipe, clearly McCormick's doesn't make that. So, hi Hudson. So, that's where your ground cayenne is, taking the place of that. But I think you absolutely could use, if you have it, you probably should and could use it. I personally didn't have it. So I just left it, I was trying to follow the recipe and keep it.
Well, I can get lost in an H Mart or a latte, so don't, that's those stores. I'm in there forever.
Yes, and it depending on where some of our wine club members live, they might find it a little bit more difficult to have access to that kind of thing. So
Definitely.
even though it's not completely traditional, I still feel like it's a good sub. I mean, good enough, I guess. This looks so good. I'm so excited to eat this. I'm gonna put my garlic in there. I can try to squish them all in. Let's see if I can get them all in there. I've been working out. Man, you gotta have all the good garlic. It's like the best thing.
You can never have too much garlic.
I know, man, these veggies look beautiful and delicious. I'm so excited about this.
It really is a good weeknight meal. I mean, as long as you're not a slow prepper. If you're some people that would take them too long to prep that need to buy the pre-cut.
Yeah, I actually, when I made this originally, it didn't take me long at all. I'm doing it a little more slowly now because we were sort of doing it together kind of a thing. But it doesn't take long at all, especially if use shortcuts. Buy yourself the pre-cut things if you need to, if you're a busy mom or just busy person, I think it's perfectly fine to do that. Another thing, and I'll just let you guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add my dry spices here shortly and then the sauce. But another thing that I really liked that I added to the end, which I don't know if Jacqueline's already made hers, but I actually squeeze a little bit of lime and put some cilantro or parsley on just as a little topping. Just thought it would, take it a little bit up a little bit. I'm excited to try it with the wine. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure, the lime adds some brightness to it, and then mixing it with the Sauvignon Blanc is
yes,
fire.
For sure.
Now I'm curious how the egg is going to maintain its warmth without overcooking since it was cooked first. So I want to see how that
What I did was I actually, once everything was cooked and sauced, I actually put the eggs back on top and just put the top back on. Just let it, just let the whole pan just warm up a little bit.
Nice.
Doesn't usually, and this is a lot of veggies, but it doesn't usually take too long for them to get sauteed. So as long as you keep your eggs in a warmer spot. I got that line right here. Still nice and jiggly. That's good. I like that. I'm excited about the addition of the mushrooms and the zucchini because I didn't have that last time. Like I said, I used collards and something else. I don't remember. Some other veggie. So these look pretty good. Almost done here. So I'm gonna add my spices. Okay, so you got your sesame seeds. I don't measure these. It says 2 teaspoons, but this is I'm just gonna sprinkle them on until I think they look good. I like to put those on first because that way they get a little toasty. I did use sesame oil personally, but you could use any oil you like when you're sauteing the veggies, but I like to get these a little toasty in there. And then
Another thing is so nice that it smells so nice.
oh, it smells amazing.
My mouth watering, one of the kids said, they're just eating, the boys are eating rice and steak right now, which is something. And my daughter loves it. She was outside or something in the garage and came in. She's like, oh my God, it smells so good. I mean,
Yeah. All right, so I'm putting my ginger in a little bit more. Red pepper. I think I put a little less red pepper just because my daughter isn't like super excited about the spice. So I think I did just a hair less than a half last time, but whatever you like is, you can adjust it. Okay, so here we go with that. I'm gonna get mine.
It looks so pretty, Kelly, your pan.
I know it's I really love food art. Like to me, when I go to the farmer's market and stuff and see like the line of peppers and the thises and the that's, it's so beautiful to me. It literally is like art. Okay, this is gonna be a challenge. How are we gonna get this in without, I might have to do it in batches because my pan is just not big enough and it'll cook down. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Really, you're just wanting to wilt the cabbage, and the spinach doesn't take long at all to cook down. But you might need to do it in batches a little bit. But I like to put my spices in first. I actually don't know what the recipe said, but I feel like it gets more incorporated if you put it in before the greens.
Yeah, it does say add spinach, cabbage, soy, sesame seed, ginger, crushed red pepper.
All at once, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, then you could just top it with a little extra if you want for the picture.
Man, Jacqueline, I don't know, cooking for all those people, I'd have to get a bigger pan.
Yeah, well, so I can tilt my camera. I've been using this wok that it's on my island, so my stovetop's behind me. And now that my children are growing even bigger, I told my husband, I was like, I need one of those like restaurant woks that's like ginormous because they eat too much. Because if you want leftovers, I'll show you the size that I made. Hold on. It was that big. It's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, this is just for 4 and it's a lot of veggies. Yeah. Mine's a good size, but I still feel like I'm overloaded. Last time, like I said, I used the collards and I put them in first. So they cooked down a little bit and it didn't feel this overwhelming. Not overwhelming, but you know what I mean. This looks so delicious. And it's so easy. The other cool part about this is that, you know, it's easy for people who are not like expert chefs. You know, they can just really follow the recipe and it's nothing hard. There's no techniques that they need to do, like anything dramatic or difficult. It's just really sauteing veggies. And if you don't have a wok, that's okay too. Use a big, you could even use a Dutch oven if you have that, you know, or any kind of big saute pan. Like I'm going overboard here. I'm gonna turn it back up just a hair. Everything is cooking down great, but I want all this spinach get a little hotter, and then I'm gonna put my eggs in. So, oh, lost a carrot.
One of the reasons I love it is because it's not fussy, which is like what you just were describing, you know?
Yes. And for me, like I love ethnic cuisine, like trying things from other types of cultures and cooking. But then I always feel like such a doofus because I'm like, I don't know how to do it, right? And so if the recipe doesn't tell me, and then I feel like, am I doing this wrong? Ooh, dog hair. That's lovely. Then, you know, then you're like, okay, I'm screwing this up, you know, but it's not. And that's why when I said at the beginning, I really was like, I don't know about this. It's going to taste like a stir fry. It did not. It did not at all. Okay, so everything looks really good. What I would do now is just put my eggs on top and put the top on a little bit. And then warm them up some. turn this down so it doesn't cook too much. Yeah, and then get your bowl ready. Call the kids, get your bowl ready, or whoever's gonna eat. So we've got our rice here, which I've made a huge mess with because it spilled over everywhere. I love rice. It's so easy. I'm sorry that you don't eat rice, Kip. That seems sad. But I mean, if you can't, you can't, you know.
It's one of those like you learn not to miss it type things, I guess. Like it's been so long I don't remember rice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my husband eats a ton of cauliflower rice and he loves it. I'm not a huge fan of cauliflower. I'm just pouring myself a little more wine because I'm about to eat this and I want to make sure I have enough to do the pairing with.
Kim,
So
did you know that Chipotle has cauliflower rice now?
I have been dying to try that. So they did a whole like I'm not like paleo or Whole30. Like I'm actually doing this because of an allergy thing. But I read a whole article about their paleo menu and their keto menu and their Whole30. Like it looks so good.
Yeah. It's a little salty, but not bad.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just buy like the frozen cauliflower rice and then spice it myself at home with whatever. So I've done like cilantro lime, I've done coconut milk, like it's easy.
Yeah. I love the Trader Joe's one. It's like so good.
I haven't tried it. I just get the bags from Costco, to be honest. They're cheap and they're pop them in the microwave and it's good.
Easy.
yeah, my husband, I buy them from Costco as well. I already broke an egg yolk, so that's annoying me, but it's okay. No one's gonna die because it's gonna get, what do people say? It's all going to the same place.
I always tell them it's gonna taste the same.
Look at that, so beautiful.
Pretty.
I just squish a little.
Delicious.
I'll just squish a little lime on there. And then you can put some cilantro or parsley or whatever you've got.
I just want to show you guys, I was at Sprouts today and I picked up kimchi because my coworker told me that they always have that on their bibimbap. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
There you go.
Kimchi is, yes, a traditional or any kind of fermented, the fermented soybean paste or,
Pickled radishes.
I was about to say pickled
And
vegetables.
then the spiced pickles that they do, the pickles, the sliced onion, those funky red pepper flakes they sell in the Korean markets, which are different than our red pepper flakes, all mixed together.
Yes. So here is our finished product. It's super delicious looking. I like the idea of adding the meats, but I'm also like, I'm loving the idea that this is a veggie dish and that you just eat all the veggies. So I'm dying to try it. So I'm gonna squish my egg around a little bit so I can get my good sauce.
It's come back. My whole family, all 5 of them are now sitting at the table right there, so that's why I'm muted, but they're all eating. So yay, a win. I know,
Delicious.
I know. So good. And with the wine, good pick, Kelly.
Man, it is really good with the wine. Like, I mean, I had it before and I can't remember which wine I had it with when I did my test run, but I actually, you know what I really like about this is the spice. Even though we don't have the official paste, it's just enough spice to like make it really yummy and different, but not so hot that you can't eat it, right?
Well, and that's what's funny you say about the spice, because like the pickled radishes are actually very sweet. And some of the other things that they top with, to get that balance,
Yes, exactly.
covering all the sweet, sour, bitter, salty.
Yes, and this wine has just enough fruit. It actually tastes sweeter to me as I'm trying this wine with the food versus before when I was just sipping on it. The acidity kind of calms down when you taste it, and it almost tastes more fruity and sweeter when you're trying it with the dish, which I'm not complaining about. So, well, this was fun. Okay, good. I'm so glad I didn't go over time. I was so worried about keeping it to like 45 minutes, so I was like trying to hurry, but also not, speed through. But I'm glad you guys were able to join. For those of you who are watching on the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. I can't announce the next class yet because I don't know what the wines and the recipes will be. So I'm going to really try to keep the classes with whatever the wines and the recipes are that are coming out. And we'll see what they give us. We might have to get a little more adventurous depending on what they give us for next month. But this way, if you're a wine club member and you maybe are in, all red and we use white again or something like that, I'll try to schedule them towards the end of the month. So if you really want to participate, you still have time to use your wine club discount and buy more wines, and you can include the one that we're going to use for the cocktail or the cooking class. I have cocktail class on my brain. Let me mention that really quickly. If you haven't been to a cocktail class with us, they are ridiculously fun. This next one is brunch. It's on a Sunday. We're doing the Black Muscat. So if you had that wine in your wine club, you can join. You can also, just purchase the wines. You still have plenty of time to purchase all 3 of the wines, make all 3 of the cocktails. Some people like this class will make the cocktails all 3. Some will make just 1 cocktail. Some will save, the recording for a weekend, although this time we're actually doing it on a weekend. So Sunday brunch is my favorite, and I'm super excited about cocktails as well. So as soon as I know more about next cooking class, we'll let you guys know about that. And for those of you who are watching the replay, if you didn't know about the changes to our wine club, I want to talk about that really quickly. As a wine club member now, you have the ability, obviously you always had 2 or 4 bottles or reds and whites, but now you have the ability to be even more selective with sweeter or drier wines, or you can mix it up. So please talk to your wine consultant about that. If you want to change up what you're getting, you certainly can do that. We're all super excited about that. And I'm excited to do the next class. We'll have to see. I feel like it might push us out of our cooking comfort zone, but that's the whole fun of it, right? We're supposed to, have some fun with it. So, and it's just cooking.
Can I just say thank you for doing this on a weekend? Because I always see Alex's things on like Tuesday at 4 p.m. Like, come on, please.
I know. I'm so sorry. For you guys on the West Coast, it's really difficult because they require us that we do it while he's still at work. So we can't wait until, and for the East Coast, it's late, so it's hard, but sorry, this is so good. I had to take another bite. We're going to try to mix it up, so there's something that you can participate in, but just keep in mind, they're just spit everywhere. So sorry. Anyway, keep in mind, it's so good. You can always watch the recordings. So, if you want to do the cocktail class, you can, and then just do it on a weekend. It's not as, it's not the same when you don't have everybody there doing it with you, but we're going to try to mix it up a little bit because it is nice to have people from all over the country. We're very lucky.
Yeah.
To have
even now, like it's not dinner time for me. So I'm just like tasting this, but I made my 3 bowls for my lunch throughout the week. So I'm going to be meal prepping today anyways. So I'm like, well, I'm going to make this while I do that with my other 2 recipes. So it's perfect. Thank you.
Bibimbap for
Very
Hey, hopefully you can join us for the brunch cocktail class because you guys can wake up and get your drink on.
I just saw that. I think Tiara just texted me about that right before this class. And my husband had been asking me what I wanted to do for my birthday, which is that week. And I think I'm just going to tell him to go away so I can get drunk and do brunch class. There you go.
Yes, Kip, that sounds like a great plan.
I love it. It's like our anniversary weekend too. So I'm kind of just gonna be like, do you want to just like not hang out? It's been 8 years. It's fine.
I'll definitely say that these cocktail classes are actually gifted pretty often. So, people will actually purchase them to gift to a friend or this, that, or the other. So, it's a perfect gift, I think, because they're super fun. So anyway, whether cocktails is your thing or cooking is your thing, we are here for you. And I hope that you can join us on the next thing that works for you. And I really appreciate you guys watching. And anybody who's watching on the recording, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Thanks for cooking with me. This was so fun.
Thanks, Kelly. Yes.
Thank you. Cheers.
Really quickly, Kip, can we take a picture?
Yes. Sorry, I was throwing trash away.